Okay. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So, we have to start the series of economic MCQs, and today I have just chosen only 21 MCQs. We will do all the MCQs in a set of 22, the number of 22. I have just chosen this number as a unique number. So, first we have to start from the introduction to economics. And the past MCQs we have here, what is economics? This is the definition which is very necessary and very mandatory for you people to understand. So we have here four options, option A, B, and C. The first option is economics is the study of money. The second is the study of how individuals make choices is a more relevant thing, and the study of history and the study of physics. So the correct option, the correct option is option B. But what is the reason why the option B I have chosen as the correct? As we know that economic is the study of how individuals and societies make choices to satisfy their unlimited want with limited resources. Okay, fine. So the option I have selected is option B. Now let's move on. We have another MCQs, and that is what is the basic problems of economic. So the basic problem of economics, we have here four options again. Let me talk about the problems. So first you have the option A, unlimited resources, which is not possible with unlimited one. So this one is not correct one. Limited resources and limited wanted. This is half correct. Limited resources with unlimited one. I think this is the correct one. Let's read the option number D, unlimited resources and limited one. So the option C is the correct option, and the reason behind this is that the basic economic problem arises from the scarcity of resources relative to unlimited human want. So this is because of the scarcity. Scarcity means that the resources are very limited and the human desire are unlimited. So the option C is the correct option. Now let's move on. We have another MCQs, and that is what does the term opportunity cost refer to in economics? This is about the opportunity cost. I think we have discussed this in the lectures. If you have not watched that lecture, then go and watch it. What does the term opportunity cost refer to in economics? The option number one, the cost of the best available alternative. The second, the cost of expensive item. The third, the cost of production. Number four, the cost of government intervention. So here we have, first we have to understand that what is opportunity cost. So we know that opportunity cost is the value value of the next best alternative you've forgone when a decision is made. So when you are making a decision and you just forgone the best alternative, then that is the opportunity cost. Now if you see here, the option number A is the cost of the best available alternative. So we have this option, and this is the correct one. Okay, let's move on. We have the question number 3, and the question number 3 is just the same as the like economics. So the types of economics, that is macroeconomics and microeconomics. So which of the following is the macroeconomic concept? Which of the following is the macroeconomic concept? So we have supply and demand, inflation rate, individual consumer choices, and price elasticity. So which one is the correct one? So as we know that macro mean big, macroeconomics deal with the with the big things. If you remember from the lecture which we have recorded before on this economics video series, so there I have properly explained that what is microeconomic and what is macroeconomic. So when we are talking about the macroeconomics, then the macroeconomics deal with the economy as a whole. So in macroeconomics, we are dealing the economy as a whole, okay, including factor like inflation rate. So means this is the correct option, the remaining dealing with the microeconomic. So option B is the correct one, inflation rate. Now let's move on. We have another MCQs, that is in a market economy, what determines the prices of goods and services? What determine in a market economy, what determine the price of goods and services? So we have four options: government regulation, supply and demand, consumer preferences, and barter system. So if you remember that prices in the market economy are primarily determined by the forces of supply and demand. Okay, if you are supplying more product in the market and the demand is low, then definitely the price will be low. So the option, this is the option B, supply and demand, as the forces of the market forces that determine the price in the market economy. Now let's move on. We have another this is a very basic MCQs, and this is number 6. What is the purpose of production possibility curve in economics? Again, we have four options to show the maximum production level of a single goods, to illustrate a trade-off between two goods, to display government regulation, and to represent consumer preferences. So here, if you remember that a PPC, we call that PPC, production possibility curve, show the opportunity cost and trade-off between producing two different goods. So here the option B is the correct one, to illustrate the trade-off between two goods. And this in the PPC, we are just dealing with that concept to show the opportunity cost, and trade-off between producing two different goods. Okay, so the correct option is option B, to illustrate the trade-off between two goods. Now let's move on a very grassroots concept, that is gross domestic product. So gross domestic product is measure of what? Total import and export, government spending only, total value of goods and services produced in a country, and consumer spending. So the concept is very simple. We call it GDP in simple term, which represent the sum of all goods and services produced within a country border. So I think the option C is the correct. The total value of all the goods and services produced in a country. So this is the basic definition of GDP. Let's move on to question number 8. Which economic system relies on private ownership and individual decision making? We have different types of system: economic system, command system, market economy, mixed economy, and traditional economy. So which one relies on private ownership and individual decision making? So if you remember that in a market economy, individual and businesses make most economic decision, and there's a significant emphasis on private ownership. So the option B is the correct one. In the market economy, individual and businesses make their most of the economic decision, and there's a significant emphasis on private ownership. Now let's move on. Another factor we have to discuss the concept. What is inflation? This is just a basic one. What is the definition of inflation? We have four options: a decrease in the overall price level, the rate at which the economy is growing, increase in overall price level, and a decrease in the money supply. So the definition, if you remember the definition of inflation is the rise in the general prices level of the goods and services over time. So when there is a general level increase in the prices, and the option number C, if you see here, an increase in the overall price level, and that we call inflation. So the option C is the correct one. Let's move on. We have a very basic concept again. What does the law of demand state? So if you remember from the lecture where we have discussed about the demand and supply, and law of demand, law of supply. So the law of demand asserts an inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. So mean there's an inverse relation between the price and the quantity demanded. So here you see the option, and the option, the first one is the price of the good increases, the quantity demanded decreases. The price of the good increases, the quantity demanded decreases. The price of the good decreases, the quantity demanded decreases. And the price of the good decreases, the quantity demanded increases. So the option first, if you think about the first option, is the prices of the good increases, the quantity demanded decreases. This is one as the correct one. As the prices of the good increases, the quantity, the people will demand less quantity. So the option for the MCQs 10, the option A is the correct one. We have another concept which is just related to the previous one. What does the law of supply state? So here is the positive relationship. This is the positive relationship, and here in the law of supply assert a positive relationship between the price and the quantity supplied. Okay, so there is a positive relationship between the price and the quantity supply. If you see here, the option number one is option number A. The prices, wait, is working or not? Okay, it's working. As the prices of the good increases, the quantity supplied increases. The price of the good increases, the quantity supplied decreases. The price of the good decreases, the quantity supply increases, and the price of good decreases, the quantity supply decreases. And we remember from this one that the price relationship is positive to quantity supply. So if you see here, the option A says that as the prices of the goods increases, the quantity supplied increases. So when the price increases, the production department will provide more goods to the market, because the price goes up and they will get more profit. Now we have to discuss MCQs number 12, which is related to the above topics, the demand and supply. Which are the following the determinant of the demand in economics? Which are the determinant of demand and economics? We have already discussed. We have a recorded lecture on this topic in a video detail. The price of the good itself, the cost of production, government regulation, and the number of firms in the market. So the price of the good is one of the key factors that influence demand, and we have discussed this. So the option A is the correct one. The price of the good itself determine one of the factor determinant of the demand. Now MCQs number 13. What does the term elasticity of demands measure? What does the term of elasticity demand measure? So if you know that the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to change in prices, so the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to change in prices is the actually the definition of elasticity of demand, which measure the responsiveness. So elasticity of demand measure the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to change in prices. Okay, so the option A is the correct one. Let's move on. We have MCQs number 14. What is the primary role of the central bank in the economy? What is the primary role of bank in an economy? We have four options: regulating international trade, setting prices for goods and services, controlling the money supply and interest rate, and managing fiscal policy. Central banks are responsible for monetary policy, which include controlling the money supply and interest rate. So the option C is the correct one, because central bank is just focusing on monetary monetary policy. And if you know from the lecture we have done, and we have already discussed this in a very simple way, the controlling of money supply and trust and their impact on the currency value. Now 15, MCQ number 15. Which of the following is the characteristic of traditional economy? Traditional economy. So we have a centralized, the option number was centralized planning for the government, use of the barter as the primary means of exchange, private ownership of resources, rapid technological advancement. So we are talking about the traditional economy, and we know that traditional economies often rely on the barter and have limited technological advancement. So the option B is the correct one. The traditional economy was just the use of the barter as the primary means of exchange and the traditional economy. Now let's move on to the 16. What is the purpose of fiscal policy in economy? What is the purpose of fiscal policy in economy? Controlling the inflation rate, regulating international trades, managing government spending and taxation, controlling money supply. So if you remember from the previous MCQs, where we have discussed that controlling the money supply is the purpose of monetary policy, so this option is automatically wrong. Now controlling inflation rate, regulating international trade, managing government spending and taxation. Here the option C is the correct. Fiscal policy is dealing with managing government spending and taxation. So fiscal policy involves government decision regarding spending and taxation to influence the economy. Let's move on to 17. Which of the following is not a factor of reduction in the economics? We have discussed this factor of reduction in a bit detail. So money is the medium of exchange. From here, this is not a factor of production, but it's a medium of exchange and not a factor of production. Lands, labor, capitals are the factor of production. What does the term ceteris paribus means in economics? What does term ceteris paribus mean in economics? So the option for this one, if you we have discussed this term in many. If you are learning economics, if you are teaching economics, you have to deal with this term a lot. More of the time you will see this term. So all else being equal or holding other thing constant is the correct option. The option A is the correct option. Ceteris paribus is used to isolate the effect of the specific variable while keeping other factor constant. So the option A is the correct one. Which market structure is characterized by the large number of small firms? Is a large number of small firms, identical product, and ease of entry and exit. So we have four options. The first option we have monopoly. The second one is oligopoly. and the third one is a public competition and monopolistic competition. So here the option is public competition is the correct one, and the public competition involves a large number of firms producing identical products. So large number of firms involved and producing identical product, and there is ease of entry and exit. Now let's move on. What is the primary goal of profit maximizing firm in economics? What as the primary goals are profit maximizing firm in economics? So maximizing market share, maximizing revenue, maximizing employment, and maximizing profit. So the option D is the correct one, because every organization is working to maximize their profit, and profit maximization is the fundamental goal for many businesses. Now the last one, and that one is 21st. And what is a tariff and international trade? What does it mean? So tariff or taxes imposed on imported goods and to protect domestic domestic industries. So the option one is government subsidy to domestic producer. No. Tax on imported goods, I think this one is a correct one. Option B is the correct one. And a limit of the quantities in this one is a trade agreement between two countries, not this one. So we have done 21 MCQs sets with a reason. We have discussed the MCQs, then we have discussed which option is correct, and then we have also discussed the reason why the option is correct. So thanks for watching. Inshallah, we'll continue the same series in economics plus accounting, and I will also discuss the topic one by one. Thank you for watching.